Hey Gem Stars, this is editing me. I just finished doing the reading that you're about to watch. It is a very heavy reading, okay, so I knew it was going to be heavy. You know, it's not a light-hearted, jokey reading. So if you're not in the mood for a serious inner child reading where we cover some quite dark subjects, then please do click off now, or come back to it when you're in the right mindset. Okay, it's a very long reading, and there is an extended to be had as well. We do lighten things up in the extended reading, and it balances out a little bit as an overall reading. But to upload a full, I think it's about 1 hour 45-minute reading onto YouTube, it won't work. It's too long, and it's too long in one reading. It's too long to do. Okay, so I have made an extended reading. Okay, forewarned is forearmed, my lovelies. I hope you enjoy this reading. Hello my lovelies, welcome to my channel Sunrise to Sunset. My name is Lisa, I'm a Reiki master and intuitive empath, and this is going to be a reading for my beautiful shiny golden gem stars Gemini. Before we get started, as always, a great big thank you for your likes, shares, subscriptions, donations, booking me for a personal reading and joining me on the one-to-one intuitive guidance courses. If you'd like to find out more about booking me for a personal reading, or you'd like to join me on the one-to-one intuitive guidance courses, please do feel free to have a little looky at my website sunrisetosunset.co.uk, or have a little nosy in the description box below. And also, got a new service, my lovelies. I'm now offering mentoring services, and also I've extended the personal reads, so we've got lots of different personal readings to choose from now as well, my lovelies. So all information is below or on the website. Right, today's reading, it might be a bit hardcore, Gem Stars. It might be a bit hardcore. Now, it was probably about 2 weeks ago now, I was called to do a messages from your inner child reading. Spirit led me to create some cards, okay, with messages on. We're going to be covering some quite serious subjects in this reading, and it may be quite triggering. So if you don't feel like you're up for it, or if you feel like it's going to upset you, you know, which can be healing, right? It can be a good thing. Then, you know, please do leave this reading for a later date, or just leave it, okay? So, like I said, we are going to be covering some serious subjects, right? So, we shall see how this goes, my lovely. But Spirit called me to make these cards over probably about 2 weeks ago. And then Spirit was like, wait. And I was like, okay, I'm going to wait. And then Spirit was like, green light. And then I wasn't ready. It's like, whoa. And ever since then, it feels like there's not been the right time. And Spirit is saying there's never a right time to kind of address this, or these issues, okay? So I'm going to crack on with the reading and see how it goes, my lovelies. We're going to get some general energies down first. This could be a long reading, so there might be an extended. We'll see how it goes. But I'm going to get some general energies down first, and then we'll see where we go from there, my lovelies. Archangel Metatron, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael and Archangel Sandalphon, please bring forward messages for Gemini's highest good. For Gem Stars' highest good only, please. And may all energy sent my way be returned back to you, my lovelies, tenfold. Okay, so there's a serious energy about this reading already. So it might not be so light-hearted, may not be so many jokes cracked. Or you know. Let me just have a little looky that we're in view. Yeah, this might be quite serious. I'm getting the serious feeling. Right, let's have a little looky what wants to come out first. So messages from your inner child, please. What is Gem Stars' inner child? Oh, okay, so first card out is indecision, my lovelies. Yeah, we have got one on the floor. One down the side. Surround yourself with protective energy. Okay, so we're ready. Straight out the door. Okay, messages. Okay, beautiful. Oh, we've got Angel of Love. And we've got Archangel Michael. That's what we wanted to see. Okay, and I know a lot of you highly resonate with Archangel Michael. So messages for Gemstars inner child, please. Oh, Gemstars, we just dropped loads. That is a lot. I'm going to put these back in, my lovelies. That is a lot of messages. Okay, messages from Gemini's inner child, please. What does Gemstar need to know? Ooh, okay. We have got the Garden and the Gate. Oh, and another heart card. Woman holding a heart. Oh, your inner child sending you a lot of love, Gemstars. A lot of love. Okay. Like I said, there's quite a heavy energy surrounding this reading. This might be why I've been like, well, first off, Spirit held it off and then I did. First card that comes out is the most important card. Okay. So we're kicking off with indecision. Your inner child in an indecisive mode, which way to go. Now, you know, we're going to go back to childhood, okay, and we're going to go back to traumas that have occurred, not just in childhood, but throughout your life, okay, and, you know, the inner child here is stood blocked, so it's not necessarily about the direction, the indecision, although trauma leaves us in this discombobulated state of mind, okay, so if we haven't had a clear direction from childhood, then later on, you know, as we grow up, we find it very hard to find a clear decision making or clear direction in which to go. You may have grown up not necessarily knowing what you wanted to do, like for example in career, like maybe your friends knew exactly what they wanted to do, but you were always unsure of what your direction in life was actually going to be, okay. We do have, like I say, the tree here is representing a big blockage standing in front of you. And you've got your hood up as well, my lovely Gemstars, okay? So, you know, this is messages from your inner child, and your inner child is standing at a tree with the hood up. So in a very protective energy. And we've got the red, obviously. And red can mean, you know, the root chakra, but it can also be like a warning. And it's almost as though you're covering yourself over here, and your inner child is covering itself over here. You know, like when you see someone in a hoodie and they're trying to hide. That's the energy that I'm getting from this card. So blocked and also hidden, but also a bit discombobulated, not knowing, you know, which way to go, which is interesting because we do have the arrow here, but it is almost like a compass to me, this energy, okay? And it's going straight ahead, and you're trying to go straight ahead here as well, and you're finding that this tree is blocking you. Now this tree it's not an alive, beautiful green tree. It's quite a foreboding, dark tree, okay? And the message that I'm getting here is that you may have always felt like you've been blocked, okay, by dark energy. And it doesn't matter which way you try and turn, this blocked energy is still in front of you, okay? And this is, please remember, we're talking about your inner child, okay? And these are the aspects of ourselves that we are learning to heal as we grow, right? Not just grow within our physical body, as we age, but also within our spiritual body, right? Along this journey. So your inner child is very much wanting to hide, wanting to be released from this cycle of being blocked as well, but also to have clear direction in life. And they're taking me back to, you know, parental care, where, you know, a good parent, right, is supposed to steer you in the right direction, is supposed to support you so that you have a clear mind, so that you can make clear decisions, or we're pertaining to childhood here, to do that for you, to be that guiding force, to lead you in the right direction, to praise you when you're going in the right direction, and to also to tell you off, right, to correct you when you're in or on a wrong pathway. And I'm feeling like whoever this reading is for, you didn't have that guidance, okay? You didn't have that parent who was a strong parent who could steer you left and right, you know, in the right or steer you away from the wrong direction as well, okay? You may have even been steered deliberately into wrong directions, or even praised for going in wrong directions, okay? So we're talking about irresponsible parents, parents who didn't have a clear pathway themselves, parents who didn't know their left from right as well, didn't know which direction in life they wanted to go, so therefore they were unable to give that security to you. And your inner child is still healing this cycle, because it's a number 8, okay? And number 8 is infinity, right? It goes round and it goes round. It can mean the start of one cycle and the closing out of another cycle. But we've just done, you know, 8-8. I'm literally recording this the day after Lionsgate portal, and the infinity symbol is super prevalent, and it's super prevalent of things that go round and around and around and around. And you may have even found in the lead up to Lionsgate that lots of old issues are being pulled up to the surface. We do have Venus in retrograde as well, so this love that is down on the table may have been coming back up, and that doesn't have to mean relationships, okay? It can be any loving relationship that you've been in. So this is the most important card that is coming out, is that your inner child still feels blocked, still feels unable to see clearly which direction to go, okay? So these are things, like I say, as we go through this reading, this isn't a negative reading. This isn't me you know, calling out gem stars, look, gem star, you're blocked, okay? These are things that we're working on still, okay? They will be resolved as well. I've just got a feeling of, oh, this is never going to end, because of that infinity cycle, right? We are going to get out of these cycles, but we have to look at these things, and no matter how uncomfortable they are, my lovely gem star, okay? To get off that infinity loop, right? We want to exit left or exit right here, and be able to have a clear pathway moving forwards. Now, next to it is surround yourself with protective energy, and the word yourself is so standing out, okay? And what is the person in the hoodie doing? They don't feel secure, right? If you see anyone with their hood pulled up, they've normally got it pulled right down over their eyes. They might even have some shades on as well, okay? That's an insecure person, somebody who's trying to hide, somebody who's trying to protect themselves from all that is going on around them. And this surround yourself with protective energy is what you had to do. It's what your inner child is still being called to do very strongly. You know, whoever this reading is for, it's not going to be for everyone, okay? It's going to be quite a specific, tuned in reading. You had to protect yourself. And that, whether that be early childhood, late childhood, adolescence, you were the only person who could protect yourself. So again, we're going back to these sort of negligent parents, and you also may have had to protect yourself from the parents, okay? From your mother, from your father, possibly not just parents, okay? Because abuse, you know, I work with many people, and I've received some very harrowing stories, and I'm very privileged to have received those stories, and hats off to anybody who's shared their very intimate details of their life with me. But it could have been a brother, a sister, a cousin, a grandparent even. Okay, so family, you know, in an extended sense, a friend of the family even. But you had to protect yourself. And this has led you into adulthood, always having that fight or flight reaction, because when we go through repeated trauma as a child, it activates parts of our brain that are constantly in fight or flight mode. So every single day you're in fight or flight mode. It's actually very, very detrimental to health later on in life. So if you've actually been through trauma in early childhood, you may have bad physical health, and that's because your adrenal glands, your adrenaline was on constant go mode, and that wrecks the body and also the mind, right? So you may have had to constantly feel like you protect yourself, but as you've gone into adulthood, that protection, that barrier, that hood up, and even sometimes we plant trees in front of ourselves, right, so that we can hide. You know, yes, she's blocked, but she may even be playing kind of hide and seek behind that dark tree as well. So putting things into place, sort of negative things into place to protect ourselves, i.e. pushing people away. Having the arrow out, always thinking something bad or negative is going to happen, so you almost push them away before they can push you away. It's interesting because we do have Archangel Michael down on the table, and Archangel Michael is one of the most protective, beautiful guardian angels to have. And he's got his sword out. And Archangel Michael has been with you since birth, since conception, okay? And he has been fighting. And you might think that, there might be a bit of shadow in there that's saying, really, where was the protection then? Where was this protection when I was young? When I needed it the most, when I needed somebody to protect me? He was there. You may have been pulled out of that situation. You may have got yourself out of that situation. Okay, that was the divine assisting you. And very, very often, light warriors, light workers, they go through very, very traumatic and dark events, not just in childhood, but throughout their lives. This is done very purposefully. As I say that, it's such a sad energy. There's such a sad, heavy energy, okay? I knew this wasn't going to be an easy reading to do, okay? But this was done purposefully to try to pull you into the wrong pathway, or maybe to not even be able to get onto the spiritual pathway in the first place. But another thing about trauma is it actually pushes you onto the spiritual pathway. It forces the guides, it forces the divine to come in and protect you. So although you have to protect yourself in this lifetime, Archangel Michael is here to protect you also. And it's learning those healthy ways of protecting our energy, the spiritual ways of protecting our energy, rather than the 3D, fear-based, ego-driven ways that we protect ourselves. So you're putting more faith. Archangel Michael is like, you are understanding now that you are protected, and you are putting more faith into this divine protection, rather than pulling your arrow out, pulling your sword out, and it's like, go away. It's like this, I'm seeing this frantic, almost like a fight or flight energy. But Archangel Michael is here to help you. Okay, look, we've got the red cloak, okay, danger, warning, and then we've got the red of Archangel Michael, groundedness. And also, it's like a heart at the bottom here. It isn't a heart, I know it isn't, but it is like a heart. Okay, he brings that love to you. I wouldn't be surprised if we get Mother Mary or some divine feminine figure coming in as well, my lovely gem stars. Okay, so we'll go back to the love cards in a moment, but these 4 cards are like the key cards. Oh, and as she says, key card, she has the key around her neck in this card as well. So your inner child again is indicating this need to keep yourself safe, just like the first card that came out, my lovelies. Okay, this is keeping control of your environment. This is keeping yourself small, dimming to fit in. You don't want to almost put your head up above the pulpit, right? Because you feel like, well, for one, you were never celebrated or encouraged to do that as a child, but you feel like if you do pop that head up, it's like, when are the arrows? When are the swords going to fly at me? It's that fight or flight energy coming through again. And this is how you deal with it. You tend to that beautiful garden, and that could be a literal garden, it could be your home, it could be even your temple body. But this is a safe energy, and it's like this girl, and it could be a little boy, little girl, your inner child, staying firmly within this safe space. It's a beautiful safe space. You've nurtured that safe space, my lovely gem stars. And this is why we keep getting this come up as well. And this is why I wanted to go and do this inner child reading, although I knew it was going to be deep. Because we get this a lot, right? We get this a lot, gem stars. The don't dim to fit in card comes out a lot. The garden and the gate, all tied up. That type of energy comes out a lot in gem stars reading. And we're doing the shadow work through this reading, right? We're digging deep. We're looking at the things that we don't necessarily like to look at or to address. But hopefully, if you're on this spiritual journey, if you're on this channel, then you're working through this, okay? You are working through it. Sorry, Spirit just corrected me. You are working through this. And it may take some time. It may take some courage to take that key off your neck and pop it into the gate and walk through into, this future is unwritten. There's no indicators here that what is outside of the gate is going to be safe, is going to be joyous, is going to even progress you. Okay, what's outside that gate? It's a question mark, right, my lovely gem stars? It's a big unknown factor. But what you're working on right now is gaining that courage, gaining that strength. This could be, this could represent, that job that you don't feel worthy of. This can represent the future love, a future home, a future land. That you're being called. Spirit is pushing you so hard right now to step up into your higher selves, my lovely gem stars. And this is how we do it. We pull out that baggage, right? We pull out that big suitcase and we have a look. We have a rifle through it. And we orderly go through bit by bit. And it can take many, many weeks, many, many months, many, many years. So as Spirit is saying, please cut yourself some slack. If you're still in this garden, know that you've got the key around your neck. And that Spirit is urging you into this future unknown, future unwritten. Okay, Spirit knows that you can do it as well. And gem stars, your inner child is literally, so there for you. And this is the love, this is the self-nurture that you have had to give to yourself. You didn't necessarily have a lot of love given to you. It was specifically in the context of this reading, right? You are holding your own heart in both cards. You are nurturing yourself in both cards, both the younger version of you and the older version of you. You do have a beautiful butterfly on the head here. Transformation. There's a butterfly or two butterflies off in the distance here. This is that transformation. Coming off of that karmic cycle, off of that infinity sign. Very soft feminine energy, and we did say Mother Mary may come out, but we do have very soft nurturing feminine energy here. And it doesn't matter if you're a male or a female, okay? This represents having to nurture yourself, having to hug yourself when you fell over and, you know, fell down, having to pull yourself back up by the bootstraps. Okay, and it's not easy. And it leads later on in life, if we didn't receive that love, that nurture, that care, interest or time from our parents, later on in life it leads to massive self-worth issues, my lovely gem stars. And what do we have come up time and time again for you? Self-worth issues. Okay? And this is why. And I'll tell you the plus side of this though, my lovely gem stars, is that you don't need to rely on other people for love, because it's like you've got yourself. And that can be also, it can be a plus and it can be detrimental as well, because again you can push people away because you're quite capable of giving this love to yourself. You had to learn the hard way. You may have even gone on to have wrong types of relationships because you're seeking love and nurture, and that may have led you into some, you know, dodgy relationship decisions, shall we say, my lovely gem stars, where there wasn't actually love, but it's like you're so, it can create a desperation. You just want some like stability. You just want to be loved like you should have been, like every child should be, held and nurtured in a safe, positive space that is conducive to growth. This is the love that you had to show yourselves, and this is the love that you know, you have massive open, beautiful open heart chakras, gem stars, okay? You know, as a result of having to have nurtured yourself and loved yourself, you don't want to see anybody else have to go through that. If you see people suffering, or if you see people who are down on themselves or don't feel love, you will offer it, my lovely gem stars, because you do not want, you've experienced this, and you don't want other people to have to go through that alone themselves, right? There's always positives and there's always negatives to these issues that we're healing, my lovely gem stars, okay? You know, it's interesting because we've got the 3 stages. We've got the inner child, the adolescent, and the older, and they're all feminine energy. They're all in pink dresses, right? You have a lot of love within you, gem stars, and you're not bitter or jaded from what has occurred. You've come out. They want me to put those there. Okay, interesting. You've come out of this trauma or this turbulent time that you've had, still with a beautiful open heart chakra. Okay, my hat goes off to you, gem stars. A lot of people might come out bitter, twisted, jaded, closed off to love, but you've always sought that love and been able to give it as well. And that's the sad, tragic thing, the sad, heavy energy that I'm feeling, is that you're a bright, beautiful, shiny, loving soul, and it's almost like, how could anybody do that to my beautiful gem stars? Why? You may have asked yourself why many times over the years. Why? I have such a open, loving heart. How could you do this? Why did you do this? Messages for my beautiful gem stars, please. Messages from gem stars inner child. Okay, gemmies. We've got wisdom. We've got triumphant success. Oh, we've got deception and envy. Okay, awareness just fell off the top of the deck. please. Messages from Gemini's inner child. Oh, I knew this was going to come out because Archangel Michael's down on the table. If you've been watching my channel, if you follow my channel, if you're a regular, you know these two, every single time, they come hand in hand. It's... I knew this card would come out in the reading. Messages for Gem Stars, please. What does Gemini's inner child wish to tell Gemini, please? Okay, look, the shadow. That's what we're doing right here, right now, my lovely Gem Stars. And look, bottom of the deck, mental conflict. I want me to call this as well. An emotional withdrawal. Another number 8. Discontent, boredom, disruption, conflict and defeat. Wow, Gem Star. My intention for this reading is not, you know, is not to make you miserable, okay? I am hoping that this is going to be highly healing, you know, in some aspects, for somebody else to say to you, I understand, I get you, this is why, okay, this is why, and this is why you are who you are now, and why you're going through this healing journey right now. And also just to bring up the shadow side so that it can be healed, okay? Right, let me just pop these up here. You know, I knew this wasn't going to be a happy, happy, joy, joy reading. It's not going to be for everybody. It's going to be for those who are serious about pulling that luggage, you know, that baggage out of the deep, dark depths that we sometimes sort of stuff it down into, my lovely Gem Stars, okay? We've got wisdom. But it's like he's looking over at the happy family. He's not even a part of the happy family, but he's looking over at the happy family. He is shining in this beautiful divine light, okay, and he is holding a book. Is it the Akashic Records? Who knows? But it's a book of wisdom. All that you have been through, my lovely Gem Stars, your inner child is saying, oh, they just said, no pain, no gain. And you've felt pain, my lovely Gem Stars. So imagine how many gains that you've been winning in this lifetime. It takes to have gone through some very deep trauma to gain wisdom as well, right? You know, I couldn't be delivering the courses that I've written if I hadn't have been through the experiences that I've been through. I wouldn't be here talking to you guys about the experiences that you have been through if it wasn't for the no pain, no gain. I wouldn't be talking to you about how do we transmute the negative things that have happened to us, the shite, and take that and use it as fertilizer for our growth, for future growth. Okay, you've accrued much wisdom, my lovely Gem Star. And your inner child wants you to share this wisdom with others so that you can be a guiding light, so that you can point people in the right direction also. And we have to do a certain level of healing before we get to that place, right? Before we accrue, we accrue the wisdom, but before we can utilize that wisdom for our own good and for the good of other people as well. But you've always desired a stable, happy, loving home. And part of that is what keeps you locked within that, the garden and the gate as well, within that comfort zone, right? It's like it's all you ever wanted. You just wanted a peaceful, loving environment, the stable. This word stability keeps coming up as well, my lovely gem stars, and this is a stable, loving, happy family here. And you're not looking over with envy. You're looking over and just being like, that's beautiful, and I wish that I had that. But also, you've gone like hell for leather to create that happy family environment for your own children, for your own family members. You know, amen, gem stars. Hats off to whoever this reading is for. Because you've broken that generational curse. You haven't done the same thing that happened to you. You haven't passed that down. And that is the wisdom that you accrued, right? Is that you are not going to be, you know, on that endless infinity cycle, right? You came to break the infinity cycle that requires great strength, great courage, great determination, gem stars. Okay, give yourself a pat on the back. And I know it sounds so cheesy, right? It sounds so cheesy, and it's like it's not enough. But please acknowledge what you have done, how you have transmuted that shite into something shiny. Okay, because it fueled you to break that cycle. One of the hardest things in the world, right? This is you tried to bury me, but I came out with a sword. It's also indicating that fight or flight mode. Okay, you are a fighter, you are a warrior, because you had to be, gem stars. You didn't have the luxury of, you know, a quote, normal childhood. You had to fight your way through childhood. You had to drag yourself up almost. But you did. It's like the knowledge that you gave yourself, that you taught yourself as well, the wisdom, it's because you're an old soul. It's because you've been here before that you were able to just utilize it in ways that other people can't even imagine. It's made you strong. Anytime somebody tries to bury you as well, you can like refer back to childhood and be like, what you're serving me is nothing compared to what I've already been through. Nothing. I have crawled out of this grave more than once, and I will do it time and time and time again. Your inner child, strong, gem stars. And ultimately, this is what leads you to success in this lifetime. That ability to keep getting back up when you're pushed down on your knees. When they try to bury you. And these type of people, looking over at you. You get this a lot. This jealousy, envy. Looking at your ability to keep being able to get back up time and time again and being like, how are they doing this? I'm trying my best to deceive them, to pull them down. I'm envious of their light. How do they keep getting back up? Because you have the strength of a warrior. And this can also be a shadow aspect as well, my lovely gem stars, right? We can be too tough for our own good sometimes. Having said that, this teamed with the double heart chakra, and I know, I know, gem stars, that you have beautiful open hearts, and when you team an open heart with a fighting spirit, you've got a badass light warrior. Okay? You bring awareness. You have this connection to the divine, your crown chakra on fire, this ring of protection around your mind, going through your mind as well. As I just said, going through your mind, it was like spirit did crack a funny. And I don't know, it's like, I don't know if it's the time, spirit. Doesn't feel like it in this reading. But they were like, yeah, and a lot of other things run through Gemini's mind, right? You are overthinkers, Gem stars. You have beautiful, intelligent, questioning minds. And that questioning mind, remember when I said earlier, you might have been going, why? You know, you have this beautiful questioning mind. You don't just take things at face value. You go deeply into the reasons why. You want to know, like, so much. You won't just take something at face value. You really want to understand what is behind that. You know, and when we're talking about trauma, that might well have been playing around and around and around, going through your mind. Your intelligent mind, Gem stars. You're very connected to the divine. You're very protected, and this is why. Okay, this is the tree that stands in front of you as well. This is that energy that tries to direct you on the wrong pathway. Cast illusions in front of you. And when I said that, they said this tree is an illusion cast by the devil, Satan, forces of darkness. You are not blocked, Gem star. It is an illusion. You are on your pathway. You are divinely led. But you question. Your questioning mind questions, am I doing this right? And also because you didn't have validation as a child. Then you question, am I doing this right? You know, nobody said, yes, Gemstar, you are. Come this way, good job. You didn't get that validation. So you may have gone on to seek external validation as well, as an adult. But this devil, remember I said that this is deliberately done because you are a child of God. You are a chosen one. You are a light warrior, my lovely gem star. However, you know, starseed, however you wish to term it. You came here with a very strong purpose, a very strong mission. Okay, you are unbreakable. Tell me in the comments if people have tried to break you time and time again, but you've got up. Let me know, gem stars. And I know this is a sensitive reading. I don't, you know, you put as much information as you like in the comments, okay? But I would put money on it that people have tried to kick you down time and time again, but you got back up. You got back up to face the devil. And you know why, Gemstar? This is you. You face the shadow. You face the demons. You know, this could be a very Gemini card, right? Dark twin, good twin. Whenever I say dark twin, good twin as well, it is tongue-in-cheek. And I know this isn't the reading, or this is not the time for that, okay? But it is tongue-in-cheek. I've not seen the dark side of a Gemini yet. I've seen one out of many clients. One turn dark side. A reading triggered her. Sorry, I'm chuckling because the lady had many services from me, but this one last reading was just triggered, and I saw the dark side. It was very interesting. But you're not afraid to dive deep. You know, if you're still within this reading, that is why. Because you are not afraid, my lovely gem star, to face the shadow, to face the darkness, to dive deep. It's part of that questioning mind as well. You've probably been down many rabbit holes over the last 3 years to dive deeply into this dark energy that is occurring right now. You know, think about why you are here right now, right at this time, Gemstar. Because you have the wisdom. Because you are the warrior that is never defeated. These are the attributes that we need, and you're heart-based, you're heart-led. You have your keen awareness. You don't pay any attention to those that try and throw shade at you, that try to bring dark energy to you. You almost see it as, okay, that's something, like, if it triggers you, you find it like it's a pointer. It's a pointer at what needs to be worked, and you almost not relish in that. Nobody relishes in it, but you take on that task with vigour, with your intelligent mind. You want to get to the bottom of things, to heal it, to solve the issues, to solve the problems. You probably are a very good problem solver. Your job may even involve solving problems or helping people, or you're called into that. Okay, not afraid to dive into that shadow, my lovely gem stars, okay? We've got emotional withdrawal, again a number 8. This is that heart chakra protecting itself as well, that beautiful open heart chakra. You're in prayer, you've got your back turned. There's a lot of this energy of, you may have spent a lot of time in hermit mode, because, you know, you've got the hood up here, right? You've got the back turned here. So turning your back on the world is your way to get through. Okay, it's your safe space. It's that garden the gate space where you can pull the hood up, turn around. You can pray. You can go into quiet, self-soothing mode, my lovely gem stars, okay? But your inner child has had to deal with this energy of emotional withdrawal because you weren't gifted with an outpouring of emotion towards you. And the inner child had to go into that safe space, had to put the walls up, had to turn the back. It's interesting because it's casting a shadow as well. That turned back is casting a shadow. But again, with it being that number 8, this is being broken. You're getting out of this. You may still withdraw. You're probably empathic and you need this alone space as well. Not just require it. It's not just on a whim. It is a requirement. It's essential. This safe space that you can withdraw into. But I think that you're finding more and more coping mechanisms. You may have to go into that space for maybe an hour instead of a week, or maybe a month these days. So you're able to rejuvenate quicker. You're able to shed your worries quicker. Shed the negativities that are niggling you quicker. And that Spirit has said this is only going to get better and better and better. The more you dig into these issues, the more you do that shadow work. Okay, we've got conflict and defeat. Again, it's a number 5, so a change up of this energy. So instead of going down that staircase, you may go down a couple of stairs and then turn round back into this divine energy, this golden energy. Okay, this wise divine energy that is literally surrounding you. So rather than maybe, and you've been down the bottom of that staircase quite a few times, gem stars, and I'm talking about depression. I'm talking about not wanting to face the world, because again, he's turning his back. He's Spirit just said cowering away. So cowering away, taking yourself out of the light. And I don't necessarily mean the divine light. I just mean like, it's that dimming to fit in, right? It's that I'm going to go into this darker, safer space where I'm not seen, where my energy isn't felt or attacked. And I feel, like I said, I feel like you've been to the bottom of that staircase many, many times in your life. But here, it's like you're halfway down that stairs. And you've still got that golden energy on your back. And I feel like you're much, much easier to turn around these days. Have a couple of steps down. Take a few breathers. and then go back up that staircase, my lovelies. We've got disruption. Okay, a disruption in your energy. This occurs, this specific, this shattering of the energy occurs when trauma occurs. And when I say trauma, it doesn't necessarily, like I spoke earlier about a repeated day in, day out. This could be a one-off trauma as well. But it shatters the, it's like the soul fractures. You may even, if you've been through a traumatic experience, you may even say or be aware of the phrase, I lost a piece of myself there. Because it fractures our energy. That's what, but it's done very purposefully by these dark forces, so that we have to put ourselves back together again. Again, very guarded. He's got his hands tightly crossed across his chest, across his heart chakra, in protective energy. But again, we see this yellow energy around these shattered blocks, and this yellow energy is the divine holding it all together, holding your energy together. And if you resonate with that phrase that you know, I lost a piece of myself when this happened to me, you know, you may very well benefit from doing a lot of meditation where you call your power back to you. So any situations, any trauma that occurred to you, you can call that power back into you, my lovely gem stars, okay? Soul retrieval meditations, or soul retrieval, you can do, I think you can do like retreats or shamanic, have shamanic experiences as well, where they help you to gather back your soul pieces. But know that this disruption in your energy is that trauma, and it is done quite deliberately. And that's the part that feels very sad, very heavy about this reading, is that knowing that it was done on purpose, very purposefully, because you are a light warrior. We've got the energy of mental conflict. So again, this red energy, this sort of warning, this hot kind of energy. And again, the yellow energy sealing it in, holding it together. Always supported, you're always surrounded by this golden, divine energy, gem stars. And it's like just holding you together sometimes, right? That's the thing that you can rely on, that you can fall back on. Almost like the parents that weren't there for you. Your spirituality, and you may have even felt as a child, your inner child might have even felt that the external comfort of the divine, even though you weren't receiving it, and maybe that directly helped with your self-soothing as well, and they gifted you with that, and because self-soothing is a huge gift. Okay, you may have had to experience trauma on the daily, and then leave the house and nobody would ever know that anything had happened to you, because you hold it together. And because after the traumatic event you were able to self-soothe to a certain extent. And you know, Gemstar, we know about your beautiful, intricate mindset, your thirst for knowledge, your thirst for thinking, which I just love. Okay, I love people that utilize the brain, their intelligence, that are seeking, truth seekers, truth finders. But we know, Gemstar, that overthinking can be very detrimental. We can overthink things. We can put ourselves into this indecisive mode, right? Because we overthink things. So it's finding that balance, isn't it, my beautiful Gemstars? Between where we put our energy, where we put our thoughts, because your beautiful, very powerful mind could be put, will be, they just said, as I said, can be put, will be put to very good use in the coming years. It holds a lot of wisdom, this mind. This is a mind that has been here many, many times, accrued wisdom over lifetimes, that is older than its years, an old soul, Gemstar. And we've got discontent and boredom. So again, another figure with their back turned. So whoever this reading is for, you could be quite, this could be your go-to safety mode, is pulling away, turning your back. But it's like when you do that, you're cutting off the beauty that is out here. See how we've got a full chakra system here as well. So it is a shadow is underneath it. Okay, Spirit is asking you, and your inner child is saying that yes, this is a safe, protective thing to do, to turn your back for a short while, catch your breath. And also it's kind of to do with this keeping it together on the outside energy that's coming through as well, my lovelies. It's almost like you don't want people to see when you're in this very lower headspace, maybe going over old traumas or things affecting you, things being brought back up again, that are affecting you, like right now, today even. Some people can see that as a weakness, and some people can see that as a great strength. You know, if we are being pushed into leadership roles, which is what I believe that we are being pushed into right now, then it's almost like the guy or the woman who is at the front, who is leading the troops, leading the warriors, they don't show their weakness. Is that a good thing? Is it a bad thing? That's what this reading is for, right? There's no judgment here. It can be either or. Okay, so we've laid down the base energy. I'm just going to see. Okay, and I'm going to change the battery. We're back, Gemstars. I can't believe as well that was an hour. An hour just on these few cards. We are going to do an extended because there's so much more to get through. I'm going to pull some of these out now. And we're going to go through these. And then in the extended, we'll pull another layer of these. But then I want to get some... Because it's been a very heavy first part, right? So we're going to get some more cards, flesh it out. Say like the angel advice cards, we'll pull an animal spirit card, we might get the fairies out, and see how it all ties in together, and basically try and get some, you know, spiritual guidance on how we can further heal these issues that we're dealing with, my lovelies. Okay, so these are very thick, so I'm gonna pull, let's see, we'll have one there. This one, this one, this one, okay, and this one. Okay. So these are heavy, these cards as well, my lovelies, and like I say, we will, in the extended reading, we will pull another layer of heavy cards, but also we're going to get some more positive advice, okay? So I was made to hate myself because those that were supposed to love me hated me, but now I love every part of my beautiful soul. Okay, so these are negative and positive. These are the inner child saying, I was made to hate myself because those that were supposed to love me, and which is the energy that we picked up on already, right, hated me. But now I love every part of my beautiful soul. Okay, and that heart chakra down twice in the reading, my lovely gem stars, is very, you know, it's absolutely indicative of this. Okay, it's that self-soothing. You know, those that were supposed to love you did not show you love, but you love yourself, and now every part of you can see how beautiful you are, how strong you are, how in tune with spirit, and how protected you are, my lovely gem stars, right? I went through things I could never tell anyone about, but now I can speak my truth without fear. Okay, so again, we're going back to that energy of, you know, nobody knew the depths of what you were going through, gem stars. And maybe even to this day, you know, like we spoke about that fearless warrior, that strong warrior that can almost put on a happy face, a happy front. Everything is okay with me. You may even deflect. If somebody says, how are you? You may say, yeah, I'm fine. How are you? And then that person will offload onto you, gem star, because you are an empath. You're a light warrior. But you went through things that you did not tell anybody about, that were secret, maybe even secret to this day, my lovelies. Okay, but now you can speak with truth, gem star. You get the throat chakra constantly. You know that you are very eloquent speakers. You're very educated as well, my lovely gem stars. So although you've gone through a lot of trauma, you're very eloquent and you're very educated. Okay, you did the work, but also that's a part of this your past life, this old soul energy that comes through into this life. Okay, and you are learning to speak up without fear. And moving forward as well, you are going to be the ones, it's been coming up in your readings a lot lately, you're going to be the ones that are going to be the leaders, okay, within your community. I mean, we just don't know what is going to happen going forward. Okay, but you're going to be able to speak, you're going to be able to rile the troops, you're going to be utilizing your voice to share your knowledge, your wisdom with other people. So again, another one. I was never shown love or how to give love in a balanced way, but now I give and receive love in balance, gem star. How many times does give and receive love in balance come up? Because you have this beautiful open heart. You tend to overgive love because it's all you ever wanted. And it's almost like the counterbalance to, well, I didn't receive it, I'm going to give it. And there are many, many, many people who will be willing to take that from you. And I think that you are learning and have learned that it needs to be reciprocated in balance. And although you weren't given those tools, you know that you deserve to receive just as much love, if not more, gem stars, okay, than what you give out. So again, this is very much fascinating how this reading has the shadow there, and the shadow aspects of Gemini are coming out here, as well as messages from the inner child. The shadow aspect is popping up as well, right, my lovelies? Learning to give and receive in balance. It comes up time and time again in your readings. I had no basic care given to me and was never nurtured. Again, we spoke about this, right? But now I give that care and nurture to myself. And we said this can be, you know, a shadow aspect and a positive aspect, right? You could maybe refuse help or find it extremely hard to ask for help, and yet you will always give a helping hand to other people, gem stars. You had no basic care given to you, and you were not nurtured, and now you are a caregiver, now you are a nurturer, now you ooze love to other people because you didn't experience it yourself, and you do not want to see anybody else go through that. And maybe you can give them the gift of being able to self-soothe, self-nurture. And the wisdom how to achieve that level of self-soothing. Okay. I was sexually abused and wasn't taught to form appropriate sexual relations, but now I honour my body, my sexuality, and choose healthy sexual relations. Okay, so for some of you, you went through sexual abuse and you wasn't taught what sexual, appropriate sexual relations are. You may have grown up thinking that what you were going through was normal even, or maybe it was normalized. And when I say normalized, I'm going to give you an example. So for example, my mother knew that my stepdad was, there's no other word, but please, you know, if we're going to trigger anyone, then please, you know, do be aware, but rape, okay? She was very aware. And it was normalized. So you may have gone through something similar. And this led you to not be able to form appropriate adult sexual relations. You may have sought sexual gratification at a younger age than some, because it was normal to you. And even if this wasn't sexual abuse, you know, if we go through other forms of abuse, we can still go on to have this unhealthy sexual relation, and not just sexual, but unhealthy relationships in adulthood. For example, if your mum or your dad was a narcissist, you may seek narcissistic partners. Okay, but it was normalized. But now you honor your body. Now you choose healthy relationships, balanced relationships, ones where there is beautiful give and take. You know, ones where they love you as much as you love them, and not unhealthy, imbalanced relationships where you are thrown a breadcrumb every now and again. Okay. Wow, that's a heavy card to leave it on. A heavy card to leave it on. But we are going to go into the extended reading, my lovely gem stars. Okay, big hug, big respect to anybody who has been through this. You are a warrior. You have come through the other side, and you are now healing. And the healing will go on and on. It's always going to be ongoing, but it gets easier and easier and easier, and lighter as we unpack that baggage, okay, that suitcase full of, you know, all this hurt and wounded inner child. It gets easier, my lovely gem stars. Okay, let's pull this into a more positive energy in the extended reading. Details for the extended reading will be below, my lovelies. And next reading that we do will be a beautiful high vibrational reading, but for some reason this is very essential at this time, around this Lionsgate portal, to pull this up, to have a look at it, and to do our best to deal with and to acknowledge some of these traumas as well, my lovely gem stars. Okay, big hugs, a lot of love, and I'll see you over in the extended. If not, have a beautiful, blessed rest of your day, my lovely gem stars, and until next time, Gemma stay.